Good morning everyone, it's Uncle Gordy here, back with another video. So this has actually been a right mismatch because I bought a Sonik Extractor free rod pod with the plan of doing a review of it. This is the third session I've had now with the rod pod, but I keep making little changes here and there, little twiddles and little tweaks. But I'm going to show you something now which I've added to it, but this video might all be a bit back to front. Could well be shots of me fishing in the sunshine or in this bleak weather today. So yeah, it's going to be a bit all over the place, but it should give you a good idea as to what the Sonik Extractor free rod pod is like. This is the new Sonik Extractor free rod pod. Very versatile piece of equipment. This is how it comes straight out of the box. You can see the middle section is very short, which is perfect for fishing on the motorcycle. I can fit that in my holder easy enough. You can see also the legs are in this orientation to start with, putting it quite high and quite steep. So I'm going to switch those around first. And now, when you unscrew the leg, bring it to that downward position. It sits a lot lower down. So I'm going to do that with all four legs first. So with the legs changed now into that lower position, you see it's a much lower profile to the ground, and it will give it a better footprint and stance overall. They do two versions of this, the free rod and the two rod. Now I only actually fish with one rod, but I decided to go for the free rod for a couple of reasons. The first one being, with the free rod setup, you get the central post, whereas with the two pod, you just get one on either side. The other reason is the buzz bars across the top are actually a lot shorter. So again, stability. So the extra width, plus having the post in the middle, made it more ideal for the one rod setup. The only disadvantage is, of course, is that these legs here don't have any adjustment in them. So if you do end up on uneven terrain, you're going to struggle for adjustment. Now initially I did think about buying 4 6-inch back sticks that were adjustable and screwing them on, and then I had an even better idea. Why not just use these posts that I'm not using for rods? So I'm going to set that up now and you'll get to see that. So now, using those additional posts and putting them in between the main leg and the spike, I've actually now got a full range of adjustment should I need it if the ground is uneven. The only downside, of course, is the front and rear bank sticks are actually different lengths, so we've got a bit of a stance on the overall pod itself. Now you can buy these particular legs separately, so I could either get 2 of the shorter ones or 2 of the longer ones and mix and match. The GT version of this rod pod does actually come with these adjustable legs, but the central bar is much longer and the overall system is much heavier, and I need it to be short and light. This is just over 1 kilo, so it's perfect for what I want. So I think I'm going to work it in that configuration. I can always knock the legs back down to the standard shorty legs if I need to, but I think that should be alright. Full extension wise, that's it about there. So that's more than long enough for one rod. Well, more than long enough for 3 rods, but that should be fine for my style of fishing. Thank you for all the recent subscribers, and there's been a lot of you commenting on the videos as well. It's much appreciated. I enjoy reading them, seeing what you're up to and what background you come from. We're currently on 93 or 94 subscribers, so this is your last chance to be one of the first 100 subscribers to the channel. You've been warned. A couple of years from now, when I've got 10 million subscribers and I'm the world's biggest YouTube fishing channel, and you want the bragging rights of being one of the first 100 people to be subscribed to the channel, this is your chance. Now realistically, the chances of that happening are pretty slim, but you never know. This is YouTube. Things happen. So don't miss out. Like and subscribe today, and then you will have your bragging rights. So here's the Sonik Extractor free rod pod. I bought one of these Think Tank XL wet bags. I've got several of these for the mats and my chair and various different bits and pieces. You can see I've kept the legs, the main legs sort of made up, ready to rock and roll. So I'm just going to show you the assembly process now. It really couldn't be easier. It is just a case of unlocking those, bringing the front one into place, slot straight in, lock it up, and then the same with the back. And then it really is just a case of screwing the legs up tight. And then we're good to go fishing. How easy is that? And then of course we can adjust our length to suit. I think that's the maximum length. So about there will do us. And that's it. Ready to rock and roll. We're back on King's Pond, and compared to the last video when I did the match float rod, it's amazing how much the water level has come up. It's all very splodgy up here. It's probably about a foot deeper than it was. But this was one of the areas where the rod pod would really come in useful, because the ground is really quite hard and difficult to get any bank sticks in. I did struggle a little bit last time. So we're all set up. I'm just going to bring you around, and here we have the rod pod all set up and ready to go. So you can see now I've got the extension legs on there, still got that nice stance with the rod tip up so I can see the slack line and see the bites. But yeah, so far it all seems to be working very nicely indeed. Bit of a silhouette profile, but you can see it's working there. Obviously with all this extra water, this sort of thing really comes in handy. You can just set it up, and then of course if I'm fishing in different places as well, if I'm casting to different areas, I can just pick that up, move it so my rod's at a nice angle to where my bait is. So yeah, it should all work out quite nicely. This is the latest addition to the free rod pod, and it's a Corum bait waiter. Now typically if you were fishing in rivers and you were actually standing in the river, you would have a long bank stick and one of these attached to the top of it. Obviously it would hold your bait and anything else. Normally they're a lot bigger, but this is a little twin setup. You can see I've got a bait box that goes in one, and the other one is just like a little tray. So because I'm only using one rod on this setup, I have these empty threads still. Now I am going to put some bolts in these and blank these off so the threads don't get dirty or rusty or anything like that. They are powder coated, but it still might happen. So the Corum bait waiter has screwed straight into the rod pod itself, and it's given me a little shelf to put everything on. I've got my coffee on the go, got my smokes there as well, and a watch to keep an eye on how long the rod's been out. And still plenty of space for the rod and everything else. And then obviously when I am sitting there fishing, everything's close to hand and very nice indeed. Today I'm using the small Drennan method feeder. So we're using the green mould, and I'm using a little 6mm pink wafter. Loads up the same way. In goes the hook bait. Pellets over the top. Fill that up to the top. There we go. Nice little press down on the feeder. This is the 25-gram version. Just give that a little push, and out she comes. So that's what I'm putting out. My mother kindly saw this t-shirt in a shop and decided to buy it for me. It says Court Soddle Fishing Club Lifetime Member, and so far today it seems to be ringing true because I haven't caught anything yet. So thank you, Mum, for that. Much appreciated. Speaking of t-shirts, I actually got a t-shirt made up with the YouTube channel logo and Uncle Gordy written on it for my nephew, who is also my godson. It's his 14th birthday today, so happy birthday, Thomas. I hope you like the t-shirt. You'll be getting that later on today, and by the time you see this video you've already got it. So yeah, everyone's coming round for a family fish and chips later on, which will be very nice indeed. This is the t-shirt that I got made up. It's got the YouTube channel logo on and the Uncle Gordy written on there as well. Really good quality t-shirt, made by Fruit and Loom, 100% cotton. This is their heavyweight version, so it's a really thick material. And this was from Street Shirts in the UK. Yesterday morning we had a very harsh frost after several days of rain. It was very slippery out and about, so I decided not to go fishing yesterday. Certain times on a motorcycle it's best just to stay at home. So I come out today. There was no frost this morning. Temperatures are much higher. As you can see, we've got lovely sunshine, and it's actually pretty warm here. Even riding here, it was about a 30-minute ride, but normally my fingers start going a bit cold, but no, I got here still nice and toasty. But yeah, very nice sitting here in the sunshine. Not much action going on, but it's still early yet, so we shall see. I'm just enjoying the wildlife at the moment. A little robin come along and feed by my feet. It's always nice to see. Well, no fish unfortunately, but the ducks are certainly enjoying it. He's having a good old paddle. It's so friendly. Look how chunky that one is though. Certainly no shortage of food with these local wildlife. Hello, mate. Yeah, he's having a good old time.